Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Lionsden Investments and Reviews. My name's Casey. Hope you guys are having a good day. Today is Wednesday, November 18th, and in today's article, I found some interesting predictions here on Bitcoin. So I just wanted to point them out to you here. I'll leave a link in the description below so you can read over the article if you want. But it's from Citi Bank Analyst, who puts Bitcoin price prediction as high as $318,000. Okay, that's a ton of money, and that's per Bitcoin. Um, Goes on here. They say a senior Citibank analyst has made a granted grandiose prediction for Bitcoin in a recent note to institutional clients, even drawing comparisons with the gold market in the 1970s. Kind of funny how they're comparing Bitcoin to gold all of a sudden. Um, there's a lot of people that say that Bitcoin isn't a store of value. Uh, you might have heard recently Ray Dalio, who is one of the world's you know largest hedge funds with Bridgewater Associates. He came out and was saying that Bitcoin is not a store of value. Well, what I find funny is a lot of these guys are stuck in the old system. Okay, they're stuck in stocks and bonds, and the old banking uh, system as we know it, and that's all they know. Okay, so I don't pay attention to that kind of stuff. I kind of take it with a grain of salt because some of these guys just don't know what they're talking about. I mean, they can't even explain to you what a blockchain is. Um, so I just kind of look past that when it comes to, is Bitcoin a store of value? I would say yes, 100%, because it's a hedge against inflation. The supply of Bitcoin there can only be 21 million Bitcoin ever created. Okay, whereas with like a fiat currency, which is where your stocks are tied to, with a fiat currency, it's backed by nothing. That can be printed into infinity. So you get a lot of price distortions, which you're starting to see in the Dow Jones because of that. But in brief, basically what they're saying here on Bitcoin is a senior Citibank executive predicts Bitcoin may reach the six-figure price mark in 2021. Okay, now with that being said, let me take you over here to the stock to flow model. Now the stock to flow model here, I'll leave a link for this in the description as well, but it's stock to flow ratios that are used to evaluate the current stock of a commodity, total amount currently available against the flow of new production, or the amount mined that specific year. Okay, so they're talking about the halving of Bitcoin basically, which goes into the mining rewards for mining Bitcoin. Mining Bitcoin has just gotten harder and harder over the years, and is now to a point where it's costed so much in electricity that it's not even worth mining it as an individual. You need like a server farm. But in the beginning of each halving, you have seen here in the stock to flow model that the price just skyrockets. Okay, every single time. And this is tracking it back to the inception of Bitcoin. Currently, right now, we're right over here, and we're going into this orange, which is turning yellow. See, this is the bull run um, back starting in August of 2016 that we started. Bitcoin was like $526. Okay, and then it shot up, and we finished out at $19,640. Okay, now every 4 years, this thing tracks the halving of Bitcoin every 4 years. So that ended in December 16th of 2017. Fast forward 4 years. Okay, right there in May 20th, roughly, or May 13th of 2020 was when we got the halving of Bitcoin. I might be off on that date by a few days, but somewhere right around there, just based on what I'm looking at. And we're heading higher again into this next bull run. The bull run's already started, guys. Bitcoin just yesterday hit 18,000, like $200 or $100. Okay, so we crushed through all resistance, and we'll go into a price chart here in a little bit, and I'll show you where Bitcoin is and where I think it's going, just here, short term over the next week. But this stock to flow model shows it ending the bull run roughly around May of 2021. Now, I would guess to venture that it's going to probably do something similar to back here, where we kind of went off the beaten path a little bit. So I would actually put that date out a little bit further, say like September 26th of 2021, um, somewhere around in there. Say like September timeframe is when I would expect that Bitcoin would probably be peaking out and hit its max price. And off the stock to flow model here, we've got a price of 100,000. So going back to the article, it's not so unrealistic to see that a senior Citibank executive would be predicting price ranges of like 318,000. That's that's probably a little far fetched from what I'm seeing. I would probably, if I had to make a prediction, I would go off that stock to flow model, and I would say at its highest peak, you might see Bitcoin hit 125 to 150K. If it goes past that, great. And I mean, the fundamentals are set up perfectly for a major bull run in Bitcoin here as we move forward, because just take a look around the world. You got economies going into lockdowns. Countries' GDP is shrinking by like, you know, 10-15% for the year. Um, and then you just got more money printing from the the central banks and the Federal Reserve. So, yeah, I mean, you could see Bitcoin possibly go to numbers like what they're talking about right here. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Okay, but I just wanted to cover that real quick here. We'll go into the charts on Bitcoin. So this is a weekly chart that we're looking at, and as you can see, this is the bull run that we had back the first time when we hit an all-time high of around 20,000. Okay, now I drew in some support levels here. One right there at the very top at about 17,000. Okay, now that was from the last bull run. This is where we're at now, guys. We just blew right through 17,000 just as of yesterday. Um, Today, right now, we're at 17,806. I saw Bitcoin at one point in time today hit 18,000 again, so we're retesting 18,000. Could we go to 20? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the next stop would be up here at about 20,000 Bitcoin. But you got to look at the RSI. Okay, on the weekly, we're massively overbought. Okay, which means you got a bunch of buyers coming in, and they're exhausting themselves right now. Anytime you're an overbought like that, usually that's time to get out. So you're gonna probably see a lot of people starting to take profits here soon, and you're gonna get a lot of sellers coming into the market. You'll get some of these people that are chasing the FOMO, or the fear of missing out, which we would call weak hands, that are buying in at the top, thinking it's gonna go higher. When that price starts dropping, they're probably gonna panic and sell. So you'll get that added on top of the smart money getting out, waiting for a retracement. So I would expect the price probably any time, like in the next 3 to 4 days, you're going to see Bitcoin start retracting in price. See over here on the daily, we're massively overbought, and yeah, I mean you could see Bitcoin come back down. It would obviously have to break the support of $16,964 roughly, because we do have some support there. So we could retest that and then bounce and go higher. Okay, that's very, very possible. We're in an upward channel right now, but if we break and go through $16,964 and we keep moving lower, the next stop that I would put us at would probably be right up here, um, about 14,000. Okay, and from there, I think you would be able to catch a breather, and Bitcoin could take a breath of fresh air, and then we're back off to the races. So that's kind of where I see Bitcoin going right now. Markets today are all in red for the most part. I got stuck in a trade just recently, um, due to my own stupidity. I didn't put in a stop loss. Now it's not. I'm not even really going to go into that trade and talk about it, because it's kind of irrelevant to this video. But yeah, I'm just waiting for it to rebound right now, from the retracement that we're getting, because obviously I'll probably get into a profit here fairly quick. just due to the fact that we're still in a bull rally and still in an uptrend. So even if trades go against you guys, just remember, as long as you're going with the trend, and the trend is up long term, and it say, does if it goes against you and you want to stay in, kind of like what I chose to do, um, just look at your trend. If your trend's long term up, say on the daily and weekly, well, it's going to rebound and it should head higher for you. Okay, this isn't financial advice. I wouldn't recommend staying in like I did because my tolerance for risk is a little bit higher than most people, and at least these people I know, anyways. And for me, it's more of a long-term game, anyways. So I'm doing that 80% long-term, 20% short-term, and even on short-term trades, if I get stuck in a trade or something goes against me and I end up not following my own rules, kind of like I did, I just go back to the basics. Okay, are we in an uptrend? Yes. Long-term? Yes. So the price should keep going back up, even though we retraced a little bit. I think I'll just stay in, and that's kind of my mindset on that kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, Bitcoin's looking good. Crypto market space is looking good. Again, I'll leave a link for the stock to flow model and that article so you can read over that if you want. But that's all I have for today, guys. If you like what you're hearing, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you guys here shortly, sometime in the next few days. Have a good one.